Listen, people. Listen. It's your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. Of course, we are one sister to another with a show with information, inspiration, and godly revelation. And we're heard live on all of your social media platforms, at least as many who can handle us, okay? Because you all don't get this right now, okay? I'm your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson, of course, and we are your show that has the best guests. We're your show that has the podcast that has the best panels. We have the best conversations because we are unorthodox. We're raw. And we just tell it like it TI is. Now check this out. Somebody would say, do you tell it like it TI is on you, or you tell it like a TI is on us? Okay, so we tell it like a TI is as far as you can understand. That's how we do. Okay, so listen to what I gotta do, because of course, y'all gotta tell me I just know this is Byron Crenshaw's new song that's playing in the background. So just so y'all know, we have permissions to play. Okay, I'm right there where I need to be right now. Listen to this. Thank you, my engineer today, Mr. J, Big J. He is in the room, but guess what? For my guest today, I decided we needed to continue our talk from last week. Last week's talk was so hot. Listen, till we decided we're going to talk about it again. What are we talking about? We're going to talk about women. Women win. Women International Month. No, I call it Women Internationally Forever, okay? And so, of course, we're here today. We're blessed. The sun is kind of shining, but it not really is. But it's shining inside of here, right? Inside of our One Sister to Another podcast studios. But can I introduce who's going to be talking with me, chatting with me today? And y'all, all I can tell you is coming out of the stall, it's going to be hot because my co, who don't want to be the co, but the Lord has anointed her and appointed her. She and I were talking about this Sierra deal, and we're going to talk about it later. Look, and me and her have kind of a difference of opinion, but not really quite after I threw it at the old folk way. Anyway, see my girl, Tamara Woodard, is in the house. She's the executive producer of One Sister to Another as well. And I know the View think they got the folk, but they don't have the people. I got the people right here, One Sister to Another team right here. Okay, so then I have none other than, they correct me all the time about the way I say her name, but maybe I'll just come up with a different name, Mimi or something. But anyway, my take is in the house today, and y'all know what? Smart, spunky, and I love the fact that she does not agree with the status quo. Her or my executive producer, of course, Tamara Woodard. Listen at this. And then we've got our granddaughter. I call her my God grandbaby. Yep, she my God grandbaby. Her and her husband. And even though you don't see him, you still see her, right? But the two become one. I got my girl, none other than my creative. She's better than all of y'all's. I'm just saying, okay? I've got none other than Trayla is in the house. Yes. Listen at this. I think it behooves us today, women, to go ahead and handle this business. So y'all might want to keep your mics open for the whole thing today. I know we can't be late getting off here tonight, okay? But today, but I'm telling y'all, can I give a shout out real quick? So let's give some shout outs to myself. I had a birthday on last Monday. I turned 58 and I'm so blessed to still be here. And then y'all, before that, March 4th was my daughter's birthday, Robinique. So giving a shout out to Shigo Turbo on Instagram and everywhere else. And then of course, this past Thursday was my son Devin's birthday. Devin, we call him Hoffa Hunted. Happy birthday, Devin Hoffa Hunted. And then right before we go into our discussion today, let me just give some shout outs to my folks that are in Muskegon, Michigan. I should have drove up this morning, but there's some weather and they didn't want me to do it. But Pastor Nathan Wells went on to be with the Lord on last Sunday. I preached for Holy Trinity, one of your huge Church of God in Christ entities, one of your huge Church of God in Christ churches a couple of months ago. And that man treated me so well. And he went on to be with the Lord. And so I want y'all to give shouts out and pray for his wife, my sister, none other than Trina Wells. And so, of course, Siobhan is holding it down for me today because I'm not there. But just wanted to make sure I did that. Listen at this. And so it's International Women's Day, right? International Women's Month. And so, of course, for me, I call it International Women Forever. But let's talk about it. Today's theme is, of course, talk like a lady, walk like a lady, think like a lady, act like a lady. Now, somebody say act. No, act like a lady. Now, listen to this. The first thing I'm going to hit y'all with, I'm sorry, y'all. I got to hit y'all with it today, okay? If we doing this, right? Sierra and that outfit she had on last week at the Oscar. Let me tell y'all something, okay? I don't need my potential husband to be looking at no Sierra. They already like Janet Jackson, okay? I can take her, okay? Because she only let her, she pops out every now and then. But anyway, I ain't talking about that. Not talking about that. But Sierra, the whole entire night, tomorrow, y'all know, tomorrow, Sierra, the whole night, she should have just went on and went. If you're going to go, can we just go? Just go naked, because at the end of the day, she didn't have on no clothes. Now, here's what I told you.
But then that would be illegal. That would be illegal.
See, that would be illegal. So she had to cover something. I'm glad you said that. That's what I'm saying.
A little bit.
So she had to cover up something. Y'all know what my issue is, Maite, and you might agree, disagree. I know that Tamara kind of agrees. Okay. My issue is that I'm a mom, and if I'm a mom and I could do whatever I want to do because I'm grown enough to do it. I'm almost 3 times grown, as a matter of fact. But I don't think I need Devin's friends tormenting him because his mom decided she gonna show her nipples. I don't need that. So anyway, what's y'all spiel on? Because we could do this in a nice way. Let me say this too. I wanted to go on record. The views and opinions of this show are ours, and not the views and opinions of whatever other entities and groups that might connect to the show, like iHeart and all that stuff, because they trust me, right? But I do believe that I do still respect her. I just think that I think she wasn't wise about how and how about this? There was another white lady, y'all, Caucasian lady, I don't know her name, right? Who had just almost like a piece of tape across her nipple. Now, I did that on my prom in the dress because I wanted my girls to stand up a little bit. But go ahead, Tamara, because I'm going there.
Well, the theme of what she had on was part of the Vanity Fair's theme.
So do you remember what
I don't remember what the theme was, but the women, most of the women were dressed
naked.
Semi.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Did you hear me? Naked. Most of the women were naked.
I didn't know
that being said, again, not a choice that I would have made. However, Sierra is a grown woman. She has a husband that obviously was okay with it.
No, he wasn't. But anyway, keep going.
Well,
his face. Anyway,
that's to be determined.
That's right.
Not a choice that I would have made. Like we talked about last week, there's always a thin line between being classy and being trashy. Not saying
that's so good. Trashy, say that again.
Just was not. She looked cute. She looked elegant. It's just not a choice that I would have made.
Yeah, she didn't look bad.
She didn't look bad. It's just not a choice that I would have made. As a mother, as a woman, as a grandmother, it's just not a choice that I would have made. But people that know me know that I am very conservative and reserved sometimes in the way that I dress. So no, that would not.
But you will.
I'll get spicy. Don't get me wrong.
I'm your real godmom. But you will. But
I will get sexy, and it is known that I will get sexy, but I will not reveal much of anything.
Absolutely. You're very okay. So you said there's a difference between classy and trashy, Maite, as she forestated. So let me just say that you are straight classy about the way you do your sexy. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Maite and baby girl Trey.
Well, I agree with Tamara. I actually was going to say that was the theme for the party, and also I wrote down that she is married. And I don't think she wore it all night. She didn't wear it to the actual Oscars. She wore it to the after party. Again,
I'm glad you stated that. I didn't know that.
I don't think she wore it all night. Right? It was just the theme.
Probably for the red carpet.
Did she wear it Did she wear it all night?
I'm not sure. I'm just saying, was it just for the red carpet?
No, meaning I thought it was just for the after party. So I mean, I don't know. Like, was she sitting in the actual Oscars with that on, or was it just for the Vanity Fair after?
Now that part none of us know because of course, news media, do we ever get the real or do we just get what we're supposed to chat about?
Right.
Miss Michelle Miller says that it was
Okay.
too much. We need to be examples for the youth. Then we have Rhonda Johnson that says it was not a wise decision. And then Rhonda Johnson also said conservative is always best.
Right. I mean, I do agree that she could have been in theme and not bear so much. I mean, I've seen over the years other dresses, with the same concept or underneath, so the sheer, the mesh, or whatever the material is, seems to be the theme. But I think that I would have, if I had Sierra's body, right? And I could pull it off.
Right, if any of us had.
But what about you, Trey? What did you think as a young woman with children, married, coming up, and we are your pretty much example?
Well.
Well,
Like my mom said, I wouldn't have done it. I don't think I have the courage to do that. That takes a lot of courage, a lot of self-confidence.
Oh,
I will say that about Sierra. She's a lot of self-confidence to walk out with that on. But other than that, I don't, really like to dive too much into that because sometimes I feel like it's for attention. Because Sierra is pretty quiet. She's not in the limelight right now. She did just come out with a new song, but overall, nobody's really talking about her. So maybe I think sometimes, not all the time, sometimes that could be what it is. So I tried to stay away from stuff like that. So I mean, if she wants to do it, hey, that's okay. Go ahead.
Somebody say even if she was paid to wear it, make decisions that complements your family. Now, what do you all think about? I think that that's awesome. I think that that's it right there in a nutshell. But y'all know what? We got to move on because y'all know we on Tamara Woodard's time today. Okay, my executive producer, she tell her when to bring it on in. Listen at this. But y'all know what? That gives us segue to where I want to go now. Now, y'all didn't listen to it. I know y'all did because if you had, you wouldn't have went on ahead and sent me a text. Listen. So now you got in that text. Now you got Trailer. If you can, is there any way you can go into the text and just look and see what that first lady's name was? Y'all, now we got a first lady.
Yeah. Jamila Gooden.
Oh, Jamila, come on here. Now we got Jamila. Who? Y'all hear me? Jamila say, now y'all, let's talk about, because our first question today was, let me make sure I see this like I'm supposed to see. The first question was today, based on your experiences, culture, and background, what is your definition of a lady? Let me tell you. Okay, so look, watch this. I don't know Jamila. All I know is that she say she gangsta Harlem. That's all I know. She the Bronx, right? But this lady, I guess, and this happens to us first ladies a lot. This prophet comes to her church. I don't know her name, so I'm not mentioning. Allegedly, she came, right? Let's make sure we say
allegedly.
Came to her church and said, I got a word for your husband. She said, no, baby, you got a word for me and my husband and I, right? And I guess the lady must have stepped. And how about Jamila said, you know what? She said, basically she said this, I was a get down out in the Bronx. Now I'm a save, get down. So I'm just letting you know that you want to give my husband a word, but I'm coming for you. And she said, I'm going to get that as I walk down the street. But anyway, that's what she said, right? So I want to know, what are we calling? Okay, I want to know from you guys' perspective, because I call you first ladies too. You don't have to be married to a pastor, preacher, or whatever, bishop, to be a first lady. I think first lady comes in character. It comes in integrity. It comes in, Angela, you got to walk in the spirit of truth, honesty, all of it. I believe that, okay, so I believe she was totally distasteful with what she said, but here's the other thing. As first ladies, preachers, and all this, I'm held right here. I'm not supposed to crack. I'm not supposed to. So I don't give her a pass, but I also don't crucify her like I'm not going to do Sierra. Go ahead and take the mic tomorrow.
Well, I didn't necessarily hear what was said. I did not listen. I apologize. I did not. However, again, you're always supposed to act like a lady, walk like a lady, and talk like a lady, especially to me. And this is the opinion of Tamara. When you have a platform, when you are supposedly a preacher, is that what she is? A preacher?
Yes, she's a
Okay.
first lady.
A
Pastor.
first lady. There's a certain way that you need to carry yourself. That's the way that I've been taught. I was raised in church. I've seen some first ladies who are exquisite. You know, they handle themselves, you know, and I'm sure they want to curse, and I'm sure they want to act a fool, and I'm sure they probably do behind the scenes. But again, sometimes we get out of character. We are human beings. I'm guilty, you know, I'll go off, I'll snap off, and I'm a Christian. And sometimes I don't always I won't say something. Every once in a while, I won't always portray a Christ-like attitude or a Christ-like mindset. And I'm human, though. It does not negate the fact that it's still wrong, and I don't think it's appropriate. But I am human. And again, if you come for my husband, I'm coming for you. And I'm
Quietly.
I am not a first lady. I am not a pastor's wife. You know. So, and that's just how I operate. Don't come for him if you don't want me to come for you.
Okay. Well, I follow her. I follow her Car Chronicles. She do it every morning. She has this thing called Car Chronicles where she's sitting in the car, she give a word and everything. And there are like multiple thousands of people, you know, on her Facebook and YouTube in the morning. I'm torn, right?
Okay.
It happened during service, during her message while she was preaching, right? We're living in a world where I don't go to church for that. Right. And I know that real life is happening, even not on Sundays, not on the days that we are at church. But I feel like when you mount the platform, give them the word, okay? And I understand that you were hurt. I understand that allegedly this person was out of line when stepping to your husband, and they may have done it multiple times. We don't know the entire story, but I understand. And she's valid in her feelings. She has since issued an apology.
Say that. Yes, ma'am.
She has since issued an apology.
Yep.
For, I believe, where she said it, but not for what she said. But anyway, she has issued an apology, but which was really good. But I think that we should separate the two. Yeah, I've been a wife. I know what it's like. People will try you. They will come for your husband. They will try to disrespect you, but we should at all times, as much as we can, right? Especially for ministry purposes, when we are on a ministry assignment, separate the two. That's not the time to put people on blast. That's not the time to pretty much threaten anybody. You know, there's a way to do everything.
I think you're saying it, and y'all know we are answering our first two questions, but I think that's the key right there. There is a right way and wrong way to share anything. Go ahead, Trey.
Well, I would like to agree with both the ladies. There is a place there's always an appropriate place as a lady. To approach situations like that. You know, you always have to find somewhere that's not in the public eye, where you could possibly embarrass yourself or get the attention or unwanted attention. I just feel like she could have done it somewhere else, you know, not to the congregation.
Absolutely.
And why does the world have to know, right?
Right.
So we didn't know
that's the other thing
this person did allegedly. So why do we have to know
necessarily?
Right. That's all. Like why does everything have to be so public? That could have been a conversation between her husband, and the young lady, and someone that she submits to in ministry.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it had to be public.
And how about this too, Maite? I don't need my husband to be in that meeting. No, I don't. My mama say, well, you fall out, that's where we're gonna fall out. But taking that part away, right? And so a woman who comes for my husband, prophecy, whatever you want to call it, we can have, but you know what? Again, I think we're talking about what we call a lady. What is our definition of what we're calling a lady? Because I do believe a lady minds her manners. I think that she is very, she doesn't step out. Now, does she have some days, Tamara, you guys, where she actually loses it? I think she does. You know, I will never forget a sister, and she happened to be my niece-in-law, came into the church and both of her twins are out. You could see her tattoo on her twins. And you know what I did? Because in the service, as my husband is preaching, absolutely positively, I'm watching all eyes because, yeah, I'm an intercessor for my church, but I'm also a wife too. I was a wife at that time too. So here's what I did after church was over. And she will tell you, I walked up to her and I said, baby, let me share something with you. I said, a lot of women wish they would all stand up firm like that. But can I tell you something? My husband doesn't need to be preaching, looking down into your twin. I think when we come to church, we should be dressed appropriately. And so a lady does handle her business in a certain type of way. And so, of course, we're talking about now, how shouldn't a lady act? Come on, y'all got any examples? How shouldn't she act?
Before we move on to that, I have a quick question. So in the
Go
Bible,
right ahead.
in the Bible, I believe in the Old Testament, it does talk about how women, ladies, are supposed to dress, and we are not supposed to wear pants. So what do you think wearing pants in the church is appropriate? I've always had this question.
I think it's appropriate. I don't think there's, so let me read this though. Lisa Lynn say women need to go after their husband, not the woman to tango. Well, Lisa, that's only if it's appropriate to do that. I ain't going after my husband if a sister show up in the church and her breasts hanging out. I'm not going after my husband if a sister steps in the church and she decides she's going to prophesy to my husband and not me. I'm not going after my husband for that. I'm talking to that woman. In regards to, go ahead, Mike.
Because when I said that it could have been a meeting between her husband, the young lady, and someone that she submitted to, you said that you didn't need your husband to be in a meeting. But I think I think the husband should be in the meeting, because sometimes when they are not, it will, depending on who the person is, sometimes things don't click to people, and they'll say, okay, well, the wife got a problem with it, the husband must like it. So we both need to get in this room to let you know that we both have a problem.
But did you hear what you just said though, Maite? So let's go there for a second. You said that they could say, I don't care about a they when it comes down to certain part, in no point intended. I don't care about a they when certain. So here's what I believe. I believe that a woman, a first lady, or a woman, period, should make that decision. I don't think we can make that decision for her. I think we could let her make that decision, because I really don't care about what they say. They must think he must. I knew my ex, right? I know my husband. I knew my husband. So I knew what he was paying attention to and what he was. But I do know that some other things go to talking when our husbands see things that they're not supposed to be seeing when they should be preaching. That's what I'm really saying.
To that, we can't control what people are going to wear. We can't control what people are going to do. What you do have control over is your relationship. And what you should be able to have conversation about is with your spouse, your significant other, because at the end of the day, you throw me off. At the end of the day, I'm sorry, you guys. At the end of the day, you should be confident in your spouse, meaning male or your wife or your husband. You should not be worried if such and such is coming into the church with her boobs out or she's got on a tight dress, because unfortunately there are some voluptuous women out there and they just cannot hide it. They cannot help it. And so with that being said, sometimes we cannot be, and I'm not saying this about you or any of the ladies on this panel, sometimes we cannot be so insecure and we cannot be so simple-minded that we think, oh, because Sister Johnson came in here with this little too tight shirt on, these little too tight pants on, you know, that,
she was trying to go there.
She's trying to get the attention of my husband or some of the men at the church. She may be or she may not be. It doesn't matter if she is or isn't. At the end of the day, you should be solid and you should be confident in your relationship enough to be all right with what Sister Johnson has on. You should not be worried about, oh, is my husband over there looking at her boobs, or is my husband over here looking at her behind? Because guess what? If he's not with you in the Baptist church or the Kingdom Hall or
what
the
is he
Catholic
what?
church or wherever you may worship, whatever your religion is, he could be walking down the street, or he could be at work. He could be any number of places, and he's still going to see it. So let's get away from her coming into the church with her boobs out, or her skirt too tight, or it's too short. Let's get away from that. Let's have real conversation with our spouses, and let's have real conversations with ourselves and see what's really going on. Because at the end of the day, it's not about her. It's about what you guys have.
Right. So if God gave this individual prophecy, why is automatically for the wife? The prophecy is going to affect her. You can't control what people are going to say or even do. We control how we respond to matters like that. Rhonda, I totally agree. But on the flip side of all of this, Tamara, I believe that you guys will also agree. I was the first lady of the church. And so because I'm the first lady of the church, for me to have people talk about that individual, to me, that's wrong. And so for me, to talk to her, and it's a difference between you coming up, showing up with a tight shirt on versus you coming up, showing up with your breasts exposed. I'm sorry. Now, so I totally agree. But let me say this too. I totally agree with what you're saying though, Tamara, as well. I totally see it from that angle as well. Mm-hmm. But I also totally understand that this is where you're raised, where I'm raised. From where I come from, the Baptist church I came from, Mother Burns didn't have no problem taking me in the bathroom saying, you know what? You got a leather skirt on, a sheer blouse, and your sexy, and I did. And you got your sexy brown. And every time you move to direct, your everything is shaking with it, right? So
can I ask you something, not to cut you off, Angela, but is that because you were raised in the church and you knew better? Because we have some women that come to church now that absolutely don't know any better.
So now it's good that you said that as well, because some women don't know how I can't be the first lady or the woman who talk behind. I'm not getting with no groups. I'm coming right to you. And I'm going to tell you something else. I think the reason why she received it and never did it anymore is because of the way I talked to her, the way I said it to her. You understand what I'm saying? My husband didn't even know the conversation was going on. He didn't need to know. It was between me and this young woman.
But Angela, were you doing it for the sake of correcting her, or were you doing it for the sake of your husband's eye? And again, this is not a knock to you. Were you doing it?
No, not at all. I was doing it for the sake of, because it wasn't just him. Or I was doing it for the sake of a sting.
Because we're doing it for the sake
I might be using the wrong words.
If you're doing it for the sake of correcting her, you are absolutely correct. But if you were doing it with any other intention, then to me that was wrong.
Okay. Because now, and I totally agree with that too. My take.
I mean, was the young lady working in ministry? You said two different things. You said the young lady in this particular instance was in the audience, right? And
she was my niece-in-law.
She was an intercessor behind your husband, which is great.
She wasn't an intercessor.
You said, right. No, you were the intercessor, but then you also gave an analogy of when you were inappropriately dressed, you were directing the choir. I think it's different. When we
I'll agree with that.
When we are serving in ministry, we are subjected to the rules of the house. We can't really tell anyone who's just coming, right? How to dress. So what we will pray is that the more they come, right,
will change.
And the more that we are examples, right?
That's
that
good.
That's a good way. And that they will, cover up a little bit more.
Because eventually, when you're in the church and you're surrounded by the Spirit and the Word of God, you will start to feel
change.
You will start to feel that conviction, like, okay, maybe this is a little bit uncomfortable. I don't feel right wearing this church, So eventually.
And that's why my question was for Angela, when she was corrected, you were corrected because you knew better, because you had grew up in the church.
And I was a director.
And she was a director.
And like my said, you were in ministry. You knew better. Yeah. So that being said, for someone who may just be coming into ministry, who may just be walking into the church, they may not know better. and it's up to us to correct. But I don't think that should be the first thing we do on the first Sunday that they come.
So let me make sure y'all know this too. Again, that was my niece.
Right.
She was a member of the church, and I do agree wholeheartedly. First of all, I agree wholeheartedly. I don't think there's no wrong and right answer here, but there is a wrong way you can do it. But I also totally agree with you guys about the way we do it. Look, Auntie Brenda James says, but there's no prophecy. So when people want to tell something to me regarding what God, I have a relationship with him. So y'all understand what she's saying? So she's saying as it pertains to the lady who was doing the prophecy to the woman's husband. But check this out. We got so many comments, y'all. This show is.
Oh wait, one other thing.
Go.
To your point, Trailer, when you were asking about the pants, Brenda James did say that pants are okay as long as they are appropriate. I saw it come across the screen.
Yeah, that was Brenda. That's Auntie Brenda too. That's Brenda James. Look, Alec Dominic says, I have a question to ask, please. Why is it that no now want to help anyone from? Okay, that's a different situation. He got to go on a different show. If God gave this individual prophecy, why is automatically for the wife okay, I already read that one. This is not the platform for. Okay, keep going. I am heavy chested, but I don't wear things
there. Angela, I'll throw you the comments because everybody's comments are not appropriate.
Not appropriate, not a problem. But Michelle Miller says, I am heavy chested, but I don't wear things to draw attention to them. She says that. That's her comment. It says most women, Rhonda Johnson says most women married insecurities, their insecurities come from what has happened in that marriage and things have not been addressed. Ladies, do you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we totally agree. Can we move on to the next question? So our next question, look, and we throwing them out there. Most women, okay, we already saw that. Favorite public, oh, I love this. Favorite public figures that is the epitome of a lady. Remember last week we kind of started with this. So our favorite public women who are the epitome of being a lady. I believe for me it is going to be I love me some Angela. Did one of y'all call her last week? Angela Bassett. I think that she is so freaking classy till it makes no sense at all. It makes so much sense. But I think she is so classy. I think I've never, and I'm sure she's had some issues in her life, but you never hear, I'm gonna say her and Valerie Simpson. Y'all know, come on, the two, come on, Mike Tate, Valerie Simpson.
Valerie Simpson.
Remember Valerie Simpson of come on, what was the group name? Remember her husband was tall, he had long hair. He passed away of cancer. Y'all don't know Valerie Simpson?
No, I don't.
Didn't get it done. Come on. Solid.
Oh, Ashford and Simpson.
We're sitting up there like, Angela, that's not it.
So Valerie Simpson, very dignified.
I
have quite a few. Someone just put up there, Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama.
Yes, ma'am.
That's number one
with her classy self, with her educated self. Yeah, she's probably number one. My mom was.
She was the president when you get done.
If my mother is listening, she would probably say, "Yeah, if I had the opportunity to meet Michelle Obama, I would wash her feet." So Michelle, if you listening, I will wash your feet if I get.
Michelle, did you hear that?
Besides Michelle Obama, I'm gonna throw in my mother. I love my mother. I think my mother is the epitome of class. And the epitome of being a lady.
My mama too.
I have some others. I have Felicia Rashad that I really love.
Absolutely,
is amazing as a Black figure. And then there was one more that I was going to say. It was Felicia Rashad, Michelle Obama, my mother, and there was one more. But those three for sure, ladies, I think are. And I know that my mother is not a public figure, but she is the figure that I grew up with.
She's the figure. Come on here.
That part.
I respect her.
She has a cute little figure.
Yeah, she is. I respect her so much. Always been the same. Go ahead, Maite.
Oh no, I mean she actually took two of my people, which were Michelle Obama and Felicia Rashad. But I also agree with her about her mom, Tammy Accarelli. I love her. I think she's very classy. Michelle Obama, definitely. You know, I like. I think I saw. What did I see? She was sitting. They had like this group. It was like a little not a round table. They were all sitting on the sofa.
It
and
was
they
on
were
YouTube,
talking
wasn't
about
it?
her. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
watched that. That's exactly what
That
I
was
was going to
really,
say
really
too.
good,
It was
right?
great.
I
Yeah.
like her
Pretty
because
cool.
she's a good example. She's a classy example. I like the example that her and her husband set for marriage. And it's because of Michelle Obama that a lot of these guys can't get away with what they used to get away with. You can't say you're so busy.
Come on, Mike.
Barack Obama was running the world and still took
And still was with that lady.
all right. Thank you for
He was
sharing
running the
that.
world, Mike. Say he still had
Yes.
time.
And he still had time. So you ain't that busy, sir. You ain't that. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Oh my
No, you're
goodness.
not.
I love it, Mike. Love it. Trey.
Okay, so my mama took one of my, no, both of y'all took one of mine. It was Michelle Obama. I love that lady. And I started to really look up to her after that conversation that I witnessed or that I watched on YouTube. It was great hearing, you know, the inside story of how hard it was for her to be a lady in the midst of all these hate comments and people putting her on the magazine dressed up as
perfect example, not to cut you out, but perfect example of how she kept it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
She acted like a lady. She walked like a lady.
Yes.
She talked like a lady the entire time, no matter what anybody said.
She never lost it.
She never lost it. Go ahead, Jill. I'm sorry.
That was amazing to hear, to get an inside scoop on that story. It was like, oh wow, I see why my mom wanted to watch Michelle Obama speak. So her, of course, Maya Angelou, like I said last time, because she was an amazing woman, amazing woman. But also Nina Simone. Nina Simone is.
Oh my God! Yes.
I love her, but she didn't, and that's exactly why I chose her, because she reminds me of my mom and my grandma. You guys are strong, ladylike, classy, but when it comes to certain things, she don't play. Nina Simone was she was amazing. I'm just saying like
about that life.
Amazing. About that, exactly. Those are my three.
My son Christopher introduced me to Nina Simone, and y'all, she's one of those artists, historians, anthropologists.
Yeah.
Come on, am I saying that right? She's one of those people you cannot turn her stuff on and just go there. You gotta, you sitting there like, did she just say that? I mean, for some of the things that she said, y'all, she was almost like a Harriet Tubman. Like they're gonna cut both her feet off. And I know they didn't cut Harriet Tubman's feet off. They did, but they cut both. But you know what? So here's where I believe we are, right? I believe that we now have our depiction of what should be a lady, what is a lady, and let me also say that you girls, you ladies, right? I believe that you represent class as well. You represent class in your own way, in a full, amazing, classy woman's way. I mean, I love what this group brings to each other. I love the fact that Tamara is not like Angela. And Tamara probably loves the fact that I'm not like her. I love the fact, Trailer, you have your own, you're growing into your own person. Maite, I believe that you are what the doctors order. I believe that you are what the world needs. Come on, I don't need, I'm just being honest with you. I believe what is the depiction of an amazing woman. Come on, we can go further than just being a lady. Let's be an amazing woman. Is you don't stand down, you don't back up, you don't have to say, I don't say yes to everybody. I don't agree with everything. I believe that's the reason why, look, authentic people love me like they love me too. Watch this. I want y'all to, so this is taking us right into what I believe gonna help us to end the show today. We'll talk about this until we end. I want y'all to tell me, what are some of the things you all believe we can do to stand in solidarity with each other? I believe one of the things we can do is doing exactly, and I don't get no credit for this, I just believe I'm led of the Lord. I believe one of the things we have to do is, you have to, if you got a stage, you got a platform, and you can help others. Ms. Johnson said, I can't do everything, but I can do something. And so that I can do, I will do. I believe this is part of I can do this. I can help to expose to the world, to the people of the world, like the Tamaras of the world, who really don't want to be found out. But baby, you've been found out. You are global now. Okay. What can we do to stand in solidarity? with each other, you guys? Whoever goes first goes first.
I think mentoring other young women. I think that's one way that we would be able to stand in solidarity. Each one teach one,
I love it.
and not just with young women. We could, if there's something that I could learn from you, Angela. There's something that I could learn from Maite. There's something that I can learn from my own daughter.
All women.
There's something that we can learn from every woman. The key is to not hold those things and keep those things to yourself. When we
Absolutely.
close today, I'm going to read something. You know how I end sometimes. I'm going to read something that I think is appropriate for the show, but it's
Yeah.
all about helping your sister, and we are sisters
Yes.
no matter what, no matter, again, no matter our race, our religion, or, our status. I believe in mentorship. I believe that if you come to me and ask me, hey, Tamara, can you teach me what it is that you know, that I should not have a problem in doing so.
So good, Tamara.
We are so afraid that Maite is going to make it before I do because I
Come on.
jewels for her. And to me, that's what keeps us down. If we could embrace sisterhood and embrace the fact that there is room at the top for all of us, no matter what. And if you get there
You
first,
saying something.
to reach down to bring me up with you. That's all. If you get there before I do, just don't forget to lend a hand and reach back down for me.
You can reach me by trailways. Go ahead, Maite. I don't care how you get here, just get here if you can. Okay.
No, I agree with Tamara. One of the things that I wrote, come on, by way of Olita Adams. I'm big on encouragement, right?
Okay,
I think
love that.
Should encourage one another, and that we should, like Tamara said, I have pouring, which is a form of mentoring, right? That we should never stop pouring, but also remember to refill, right? So we can't pour from an empty cup, and I think that's where some people they have the best of intentions and they start off good. You ever seen that? And then it's like, well, I wonder what happened. You have to stop to refill, right? And I think that's important. I think that will help us. And I mean, definitely take people with you if you can, right?
That's good.
If they're too heavy, then kind of lay them aside, still come back and check on them, but you go ahead and continue to prepare the way. It doesn't make sense for both of us to get stuck, and there are people, like Tamara said, who don't want to pour or mentor because they feel like you will get further than them, and you may, right? And you may. Some people want you to do good, just not as good as them. Brenda James said it on here. I think she said crab in a barrel mentality, and that's exactly mentality. That's exactly what it is. And so if we are to stand in solidarity, let's encourage one another. Let's mentor, let's coach, let's pour, but also, most importantly, let's not forget to refill.
My God. Did y'all see somebody who came on my show, our show, and tried to correct me? It ain't trailway, it's railway. We know that. Man, keep it moving. No, I'm joking.
I didn't even catch what
you can read. They think I'm talking about trailways, the dog food, right? Okay, anyway, we know that. I got Tamara Woodard is my corrector. Thank you very much.
And she real good with it.
Okay. Come on, Trey.
I'm gonna say the same exact thing. I would like to say it in a different way though. So in my generation, I think there is a lot of competition, of course. There's a lot of oh, if you're doing better than me, I have to drag you down. So I think a different way I want to say it is, it's okay to be ugly while you're making your sister pretty, while you're prettying up your sister. And I think I think it's a lot of us, we feel uncomfortable being not the prettiest one next to a pretty one, or being being the ugly one next to a really pretty woman. And it's okay. You know, it's okay to be okay within yourself. And it's okay to pretty up someone else because your day is going to come. And you guys said that exact thing, but it's just a different way that maybe it's going to hit someone in a different way, you know, than what you all said it. So,
wow. You know what? And and it's unfortunate, you know, I often share, how can I really, I'm going to the Christian aspect now. How can I really be a Christian if I ever pretty much just totally diss my sister? Like, I don't know where all that comes from, but I think you need to go back and get dipped again when you're doing that. But I will say, let me ask y'all this, okay? Because we got time. It's okay to be ugly while making someone else pretty.
yeah.
Trailer Law. I told y'all she's the right one for this particular group. I just love it. I want y'all to share with me, how would if God gave you a mentoring program for just women, and I want to start from 18 and up, how would that mentoring program look? I want you to start, Tamara. How would it look?
We have experience with that.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older, it would always be etiquette. I'm real big on etiquette.
I love it, Tamara.
I am huge on what you should do and shouldn't do at a restaurant. I'm huge on etiquette, and that's probably from my grandmother, my great grandmother first and foremost. But then my grandmother was the epitome of etiquette. Sit up straight, you know, just certain things. But beyond that, as I've gotten older, it would be about finance at this point. I would have a mentorship about finance and teaching them young, because at this point, Trayla knows now. I'm on her about, did you pay your credit? Did you pay your bills down? Even if you can only pay the bare minimum. I'm big on keeping your credit worthiness at this point. It's something I learned later on. I mean, I've always knew it, don't get me wrong, but it's something that I grasped later on in life. But when I grabbed hold of it, I grabbed hold and I didn't let go. That being said, I think if we could get our young people while they're young.
Yeah.
Jay always says that we should have finance classes. We should have these type of classes taught as early as 7th and 8th grade. They're not too young to learn about finances, about, you know, how to pay a bill, how to balance your checkbook.
Come on, when they get that allowance.
But if I were to have a mentorship program at this point, if I started at 18 years old, if I could start younger, I would. And I've worked in different aspects of mentoring programs with women. I worked with Diola Gator at one point when she had Flowers in Bloom. So I have experience in working with young girls and trying to be a role model for them in that aspect. But as I've gotten older, I realized how important it is to balance your checkbook, how important it is to save your money, how important it is to keep your credit correct. You know, so those are things that I try to strive to teach and show young people now, especially my child, because it's what sustains you at this point in life.
Okay, so mine, and I'll bring you in tomorrow. I actually feel like I'm called to women, honestly, and that's just something that I have not fully walked in my purpose on. And so tomorrow I'm going to bring you in about those, about the etiquette class and the financial portion and everything. But my mentoring program will be about loving yourself. That's what I'm going to teach. That's the point I want to drive home, because when you love yourself first, it changes everything. It changes the way people treat you. Because when you love yourself, people know that they cannot, and I can speak to this aspect because there was a time when I did not love myself. I'm being honest. And there was a difference in how I was treated versus how I'm treated now. And so I think that's so much that's so important. Brenda James says self-confidence. Yes, let's build them up. Let's build them up. Yes, credit is good. Finance is good. Etiquette is good. Wonderful. Yes.
It all goes together.
When you love yourself, it's going to get you in those doors that you're going to need the etiquette and the finance and the credit and everything else once you get there. But let's love yourself first. I mean, every role, even if you don't like what you see in the mirror.
Yes.
And that's where I have to get to. I promise you, I've put on some weight. I can't even blame the pandemic now. I mean, because that was what. And every year I say I'm gonna lose some, but it's just been going up and up. And today is the day I'm gonna start.
But you look
I
good.
love
Picked up
myself
the COVID-19.
to start today. Yes.
But you look good. You still look
You
good.
do. You look amazing. You do.
Trey, come on, Trey.
All right, so I'm gonna just
What
start
would
off
that
with the
mentoring
name. It
program
just
look?
popped into my head. So the name of my mentoring program
Don't give it.
would be Cultivating Creativity. Because
That's right on point, granddaughter.
and I feel like not a lot of people focus on the creative aspects in life. So writing, singing, dancing, making music, playing an instrument. Those are important things that, can bring out the love that we have for ourselves that we can't verbalize. We can learn to love ourselves, but love ourselves through music, love ourselves through writing. Sometimes we can't speak. We can't, get our ideas out through talking. So I think creativity is a very important way we can express ourselves.
Now go trademark that, okay, before someone steals it.
I know.
Please
I
do.
didn't want you to give it. I did not want you to say it. I said,
She
don't
sure
say
was.
it.
She was like, don't give it. Don't
One
give
of
it.
the other things. One of the other things the Lord, well, y'all spoke about the pandemic and about us gaining a little extra weight and all that stuff. I always say, Lord, if you can make me a healthy, thick woman, I'm good with that. But one of the things the Lord encouraged me to do, y'all, when the pandemic first hit, is He told me that I needed to start a group. So, y'all, I started a group called Gone Girls. And when I started the group, it was really all about your small accomplishments, your big accomplishments, and you being able to recognize, hey, this is something I did. I don't care
That's
if
you.
it was.
I'm in there. I didn't know that was your group.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm in there.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. So as part of that, part of us starting the all women empowerment group, the group was really about, watch this, and y'all, we can talk about this as we're leaving. It was really about not judging yourself, or even if the group brought some stuff, and believe me, y'all, there were some days they did. I'm the director of the group, and I would take the things they would bring me. Come on, some of the things women go through: adultery, lying to themselves, come on, not loving yourself, and I could talk about some stuff all day long about not loving yourself, about making sure you're walking in your own truth. So the Lord then tells me, y'all gotta write. And I believe, y'all, I think you said it, Trailer, best, that writing and knowing that you're a ready writer in here, I believe that so lit some stuff in me. I'm not telling y'all no story. And so, of course, the Lord able me to executive publish a book called Gone Girl 31-Day Massive Devotional. But I said all that to bring us to, and to say, as we're ending today, I want y'all to hook up with me for the Gone Girl. Of course, we have a Gone Girls book read. And this past week, Broken but Not Shattered, we talked about that. And I believe that that's a place where some women are. And we just need, as all of you all were just saying, we got to learn how to best encourage ourselves. The songwriters say, encourage yourself in the Lord. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to know that even though the enemy of your soul is saying one thing, baby, you got to learn how to stand in that mirror tomorrow. As you said, look at yourself and say, I can do this thing, and I can do it not only right, but I can do it righteously, because I am that woman as well. I want y'all to go around the room real quick. We only have 5 minutes and we got to go. But I want each one of you all to take about 60 seconds and tell that woman who used to be you, tell her what to do to get through this next phase or next season of her life. Come on, tomorrow.
I would just tell myself to stay prayed up. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a prayer. My daughter knows I'm a prayer. So for me, it would be just stay prayed up, be encouraged, and get ready for what's next.
Awesome. I agree with that. Definitely stay prayed up, keep your relationship with God, but also keep loving yourself. Keep looking in the mirror. Keep looking in the mirror. I mean, I don't care how many people got rolls. They rolls don't look as good as mine.
Come on here, girl.
Love yourself. Encourage yourself.
I love it. I love it. Come on, Trey.
I would tell myself, or any woman that has been through this, keep being creative, keep singing, keep dancing, keep writing, keep making that music, because you're helping yourself and you're helping out the world. You're helping everybody with their confidence in yourself. So
Oh my God. Y'all talking about an amazing, amazing, amazing show today. Listen at this. This has been One Sister to Another podcast. I want y'all to be ready. If you all thought that this conversation was hot, we never have enough time, okay? But we're going to believe God that we're going to get a 1.5 soon, okay? An hour and a half, maybe, podcast. But listen at this. We want you all to tune in with us on next week as well. We're going to have some of the first ladies of Chicago that are going to come in with us. I think, Samara, you had something real quick? Go.
Yeah, before you close out, let me just read this really quick, and I apologize, but let me just read this
No. I want
the women.
Yes.
How we empower each other, how we keep lifting each other up, and how we can keep encouraging one another. It just says, I wish more women realize that they're helping another woman win, cheering her on, praying for her, or sharing a resource with her does not take away from the blessings coming to them. In fact, the more you give, the more you receive. And I find this to be extremely true. Empowering women doesn't come from selfishness, but rather from selflessness. So we could just keep encouraging each other, keep sharing with each other, and just keep lifting each other up. Angela, back to you. I'm so sorry.
It's not a problem. Thank you so much. Some of the ladies are still coming in and they're commenting and saying, great show. We thank God. We could never do something like this on our own. We believe God brought this group together. Listen at this. If you have any concerns or you want us to show up at your church or event, whatever, can you go ahead and email us at OneSister2Another@gmail.com. Again, that's OneSister2Another PR@gmail.com. Of course, you're going to be emailing none other than our executive producer, Tamara Woodard. Listen, thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Trailer. Thank you, Maite. Thank you, Big J. I thank y'all so much. Don't forget to hang out with us next week. We're going to be on location. I'm going to be in Tampa, but we're going to be talking to the first ladies. We'll let y'all know during the week who they're going to be, because we got to confirm who they're going to be, okay? One sister to another. We'll see y'all next week.